Hi, welcome back to part 2 of the School of ASMR's ASMR 101 introduction. As you know, this is part 2, the first video you can see on the channel of the School of ASMR. Let's get back into it. So as you know, we went over what ASMR is. You can always go back to video 1, part 1 of this segment to understand more about the foundations of the beginning of ASMR. We went through autonomous, sensory, and we left up in the middle of meridirian. So going back to meridirian basically is the concept of an old practice of Chinese medicine and the flow of energy within it. It's intangible. We left off saying that in Chinese medicine it's not acceptable. The Chinese medicine is not acceptable in the Western society due to the fact that it's not easy to define, and it's intangible, so it can't be tested easily. So it kind of arises the issue and the concept of how are we going to test ASMR in Western society? How is it going to be able to be quantifiable? We can easily do case studies, but how are we going to test the hormonal levels? Is it really the hormones? Do we even know if we should go there? Or is it based on past experiences, trauma in the life, certain disorders? All these type of aspects. So that is probably where we'll start off with. The uses of meridirian is what creates doubt in the scientific industry, where it gives a concept of imagination and tangibility. So if you look at the definition of meridian even deeper, there is this concept of imagination. It relates to the ability of cognitively what makes us be creative, what allows us to be imaginative, our dreams. Now this is going to neural pathways within our brain. So REM sleep, ability to sleep, create. When we were a child, that we have a very active imagination, or people who have that have active imaginations, are they more acceptable to ASMR? The concept of intangibility and factors such as imagination may or may not be present. These are the two aspects that kind of really put off science away from it, because imagination always has a bad taboo against it. It's a negative word that kind of says, it's made up. But luckily for us, ASMR is very common among individuals who just explain it in different ways, and they have strong claims towards it, and the following is high. So luckily that shows some validation in our science, and that's stepping us towards one step closer. So the last bit of our video in this course is response. It's the very last part of ASMR, definition and acronym. It refers to any action, inhibition, or behavior that is response to the change of external or internal stimuli. So this is a biological definition. This biological definition is used because we as humans are what is reacting to these aspects. And we are also responding to something that's not intended to create that certain reaction. So for example, when someone yells at us, they're intending to create a negative reaction from us. Or when we verbally say something, it's with the intent or the conscious level of arising a certain response that is learned and developed. The unusual and unique thing about ASMR is that it doesn't have that intent and subconscious, the conscious action and reward precedence. Because ASMR is ignited from unconscious things and unaware things from the giving party. Or even, sometimes it's not even another human, it could just be nature itself. That's why a lot of us are attracted to just walking in the field and in the forest, and it's very relaxing for us, and we get this nostalgia feeling. It's yet to be argued or understood if those type of feelings of nostalgia and relaxation, how much correlated they are to ASMR, or is ASMR going to be treated very independently? It really depends. But those concepts are similar enough to kind of put them as examples. Response as a subject itself has been widely studied, and it's been dissected over many years by many subgroups, um, in psychology and biology, in mechanisms of even engineering. Response is a huge study point. The biological framework has been used because of the lack of study to determine if it's a nature versus nurture occurrence. So going back to this unconscious, subconscious response to ASMR triggers, it's yet to understand, is this something that was learned when we were childhood and therefore we associate? Because another example is, as children, we're not aware of how to categorize feelings and environments. So for us, we might have possibly associated an emotion with an event, which we put as nostalgia. But the extent of it is us kind of taking these emotions that we don't know how to comprehend and putting it into a physical attribute, such as ASMR responses. So that could be a possibility of a theory or a concept, but it's yet again not defined or yet said so. So there's a lot of different things out there that could be attributing to ASMR itself. Nurture. Nurture is basically that ability of doing that and learning that concept. Nature, on the other hand, is our genetic disposition. Our parents, do our parents get tingles? Do our parents understand the feeling of the serenity of ASMR? Is there certain genetic genes? Is there a combination of different hormones per se? A higher level in something versus another? What caused that nature? If that's the case that we have different responses, what caused that? Was it environment factors over decades and decades and generations of genetic evolution? Or was it just merely a pre-existing long historical gene that's present in all of us? So that's really tricky to try to figure out, but that's really interesting to look at. Um, yeah, and then also, if you're looking at the responsive evolution, is it because of technology and communication? So is it because of man-made societal changes that are creating this ability for humans to connect in a different way and creating the development, or maybe this was always present in us, but it's increasing more and more because of the need of us to connect? So is this us connecting at a different level? So this is a little bit on the left wing. I'm not saying that this is true or this is not, but it's a good concept to kind of explore. And I'm pretty sure other researchers will go and look at it and try to see if this is something. They will see, is this valid? Is it not? With the beauty of ASMR, it's so new, and it's great to see the exploration that's about to happen and is going to happen. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and all the questions that arise and all the bits and tabs of information that's added and kind of creates us to look at this amazing thing and kind of dissect it and explore it. So I hope I have you along for the journey, and share, like, and subscribe for more information about ASMR and all the wonders and all the possibilities that it could be part of. Thank you.